Hi guys. So I felt the need to elaborate further upon how a pixel works and what is the need of a pixel. Why does it exist in the first place? So let me take you through a graphical representation of the entire flow where a pixel comes into use. Okay. So here we are assuming that we run an e-commerce store, and this is a flow that you will find in most e-commerce stores, a flow very, very relevant to a lot of e-commerce stores. Uh, and it's super elementary, it's super basic, so that you're able to make sense of what's happening here. So let's say you run an e-commerce store, you're selling something, you're selling watches maybe, and you show an ad of a watch here. Okay. Okay, not here. Okay, so the very first, these are retargeting ads. Retargeting ad 1, retargeting ad 2, and retargeting ad 3. Okay, so here you've shown an ad to the customer, and you've gotten the customer to visit the intermediary landing page. Now, you also end up when you're scrolling through Instagram. How often do you just see an ad and buy buy at the very first time? You do not. So what happens is once you've visited the landing page is the product page, the page that the ad takes you to, and you drop off there. Once you've dropped off there, it is now the advertiser's responsibility to bring you back onto the landing page to get more trust built in you by the content that's on the landing page, and eventually by retargeting you to come back to the landing page, persuade you to add to cart. So in an ideal world, what will happen is you'll add to cart and you'll buy, at that very moment. But in the real world, what will happen is when you add to cart, you're going to drop off again. And, that's going to happen with the bulk of the people. 70-80% of people, in fact, 95% people are going to do that. Okay, now you've added to cart, but you dropped off there. So now what do? We show you a cart ad that, oh my god, you left your cart and forgot something there. And we miss you and blah blah blah. So let's say you've seen this ad and you've managed to come back to the cart and you've managed to complete the order. That is what happens in an ideal scenario. But for the 90% audience, people stay at abandoned cart for a long time. You at the max with all your persuasion, what you've done is you managed to get the people to commit to adding to cart. But there they realize, do I really have the money? Should I be spending that amount of money to make the purchase at that moment? 90% people don't. More than 90% people don't. The average e-commerce conversion rate that you see is about 2 to 3%. So only 3% people who land onto your landing page end up converting at the first go, and 90% people do keep falling around because it's probably not the right time. They need more triggers, they need more persuasion, they need more trust, and they need more of a reason to buy from you. So for those folks, what you do is you run an abandoned cart campaign. What happens in an abandoned cart campaign? You run a series of ads which are aimed at a different sort of messaging. Here, you're not just bringing them back to the same landing page, you are bringing them back to a different landing page. That different landing page can have different messaging, can have a different use case. What is the hypothesis here that we're looking to test? We're looking to test a hypothesis that you've gotten the audience interested, and you've shown them some content, you've shown them some messaging, but that messaging is not doing it for them. This audience is kind of qualified because they've committed, they've gone onto the landing page, they've done the add to cart and all, but maybe the pricing is too high, so you got to give them a one-time offer. So let's say you are remarketing the person and showing them a landing page with a promotion. Let's say you're showing a one-time off of 25% if you avail now, and you put a timer here. You put a alarm bell here. Okay. And so you make it a time limited discount. That's what might make them buy. For a lot of people, it's about social proof. Social proof is testimonials that how other people have liked your product and whatnot. So you take them to a very different landing page, and there you aim to level up the persuasion game and then you finally hope that the person adds to carts and buys. Now, what's happening here is you are now realizing that your customer keeps dropping off. He doesn't stick to the flow that you've made on the website. On an average, across all your popular e-commerce brands, the conversion rate for an ideal flow, where the customer sees the ad and buys, is just 2%. So what does that mean? Out of 100 people, 100 targeted prospects that you're bringing onto the site, 100 legit clicks that you're bringing onto the site, you're showing the ad to thousands of people. Out of them, 100 click, and out of those 100 clickers, only 2 people end up buying. So this is not cutting the bill for you. This is not working out for you. This is not profitable at all if you just keep running your ad to an audience and not retarget them. The money lies in retargeting. As they say in B2B sales, the money lies in following up. You got to build a relationship via your ads, via your messaging sequentially in order to get them to buy, in order to nurture them to have trust in your brand, in order to ultimately lure them with a discount. So there are so many kinds of promotions that you can run in retargeting campaigns. That's where money is made. So where does the Pixel come here? Pixel allows you to segment your audience. Pixel allows you to segment your audiences in different events. Let's say audience 1 is people who visited the landing page. Audience 2 is people who've added to cart in the last 24 hours. Audience 3 is people who added to cart in the last 7 days but haven't purchased. Then audience, there is another audience that you can possibly make here is audience, this was audience 3, let this be audience 4. Audience 4 is people who have visited the special landing page, the landing page that you're only showing to select few people who've not converted in a long time. So let's say let that be audience 4, then people who might drop off here, audience 5, and the final purchasers is audience 6. And these purchasers you can try to upsell and cross sell them other products. Maybe they bought the watch 1, now you can sell them a wallet. So that's the game that Pixel plays. Pixel allows you to segment your audiences and allows you to retarget them eventually. Pixel is the code snippet that goes at the back end of your website, and it keeps tracking and giving Facebook signals that, okay, hi Facebook, you throw this person at me via ad. Now this person has gone on to add to cart. So now that the moment that person who's come by an ad and added to cart on the website, the Pixel tells Facebook, okay, this guy that you let here has added to cart. Okay, now Facebook goes to its backend and it puts this person in a set of audience that has added to cart. So eventually you can retarget this person who did some activity on your website via Facebook retargeting ads. Broadly, this is how a Pixel works. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this. How do you segment your audiences? How do you change the messaging based on what stage they are in? So, and how do you classify them in different segments? So broadly, this is a framework that you can follow. There are multiple ways to segment your audience, but this is a broad framework that you can follow. So a cold audience, to a cold audience, you show ad 1, okay? You've shown ad 1 to the cold audience. Cold audience is basically strangers who've never known about you. But potential prospects, you have some knowledge, some targeting, some evidence to believe that these guys will be interested in your stuff. If you're selling, women-related products, it makes sense. It makes sense to target PopExo. It makes sense to target Refinery29. If you're selling health-related products to an alternative medicine kind of mindset people, it makes sense to target Patanjali. So, okay, now you've brought strangers. You've shown strangers the ad 1. What happens then is these strangers now land on a sales page. Sales page is a landing page, the very first landing page that you've brought them here. Now what happens is they don't convert. They could have converted, they could have pressed the add to cart here, they could have pressed the add to cart here, but they don't. They just don't. So what do? You retarget them with a variation of ads. You show them ad 2, you show them ad 3, and eventually you hope that they will click one of these ads and go to this landing page with special promotion. What happens in the landing page with special promotion? You show certain kind of discounts, and there you hope that that captures your prospects' attention, and they actually go onto the checkout page. This is the checkout page. Okay. Now, do you see the way here, as the person is progressing onto different pages, you can place a pixel on each one of these pages, 1, 2, 3, and based on this, you can classify your guys into cold audience. Cold audience is people who've not visited anything, but the moment they come here on this landing page, they become lukewarm audience, and to the lukewarm audience you show these kind of ads. Once this lukewarm audience sees these ads, they go to this page. Whoever has gone to this page, they become warm audience, and warm audience you show ad for. Once warm audience clicks on the ad and goes to the checkout page, then you know this is hot audience. They need a different messaging. So here, this is how you structure your messaging and your offers throughout the journey of your customer base, and that journey is interpreted by us or understood by us based on the various events on your website, and those events are tracked by Facebook Pixel. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, replay this video. See you guys.